Hello everyone, kiss your sleep schedule goodbye and grab your squad because we're counting down the 15 absolute best indie co-op multiplayer games that will completely take over your group game nights. Well, let's get into the list. Starting us off at 15 is Brotato, the ultimate top-down survivors-like where you play as a literal angry potato wielding 6 weapons at once. While it started as a lonely solo experience, the couch and online co-op updates mean you can now drag your friends into the chaotic, spud-filled madness. There is nothing quite like screaming at your friends for stealing the best stat upgrades while hundreds of aggressive enemies swarm your screen. It is fast, incredibly frantic, and the absolute perfect chaotic arcade game to play with your fellow couch potatoes. At number 14 is Sons of the Forest, a gorgeous but terrifying survival game that drops you onto a cannibal-infested island. Sure, you could survive alone with your companion Kelvin, but the real fun starts when you bring up to 7 friends into the multiplayer sandbox. Together, you can build massive log fortresses, explore pitch-black caves, and accidentally chop down trees right onto your teammate's head. It brilliantly balances genuine survival horror with hilarious multiplayer shenanigans. Grab your squad and try not to get eaten. Sliding into 13 is Unturned, the massive free-to-play multiplayer zombie survival game that looks like Roblox but plays like DayZ. This game is an absolute riot with a group of friends. You can team up to loot abandoned cities, build giant bases, or just completely betray each other for a half-eaten can of beans. The chaotic multiplayer servers are filled with hilariously unhinged PvP encounters and cooperative zombie raids. It proves you don't need hyper-realistic graphics to have an unforgettable action-packed time with the squad. Coming in at 12 is Schedule 1, an intense early access extraction game that is built from the ground up for high-stakes co-op play. You and your crew are tasked with pulling off highly illegal, dangerous smuggling runs and tactical heists while trying not to get completely wiped out. The multiplayer aspect requires flawless communication because one single uncoordinated footstep will alert the guards and turn your stealth mission into a total bloodbath. It's stressful, chaotic, and the ultimate test to see which one of your friends panics first under pressure. Holding the number 11 spot is Peak, a first-person co-op climbing game where the only thing standing between you and the summit is gravity and your friend's terrible coordination. In this multiplayer adventure, you play as lost nature scouts who have to drop ropes and physically grab each other out of midair to survive. If one idiot runs out of stamina and loses their grip, you better catch them fast or they're screaming all the way back to the bottom. It is a hilarious loop of strategic planning, accidental sabotage, and pure chaos.
Where do you need me to move it? Okay, there you go. Careful,
People
Kristen.
pleaser.
Sorry!
At number 10 is Factorio, the legendary automation game where the factory must grow. While optimizing conveyor belts alone can drive you insane, doing it in multiplayer is a beautiful, chaotic masterpiece. You can assign roles to your friends, like having one person manage the power grid while another gets constantly run over by the automated trains. Cooperative base building turns a complicated puzzle into a massive team effort, especially when giant alien bugs attack your pollution traps. It is pure cooperative digital crack. Number 9 is Valheim, the brilliant Viking survival sandbox that is best experienced with a massive clan of up to 10 players. There is nothing quite like sailing a longship across a stormy ocean with your friends, singing sea shanties right before a giant sea serpent smashes your boat into splinters. The cooperative progression feels amazing as you build massive mead halls, forage for resources, and summon giant mythical bosses together. It is a masterclass in cozy, rewarding co-op adventure that you'll lose hundreds of hours to. Sliding into number 8 is R.E.P.O, a hilarious and terrifying co-op horror game where your job is to scavenge and repossess valuable items from haunted, dangerous locations. Think of it as the ultimate workplace simulator, except your boss will fire you if you get violently mauled by an eldritch shadow monster. The multiplayer proxy chat leads to pure comedy, as you hear your friend's voice fade into a distant scream down a dark hallway. It's an incredibly addictive loop of corporate greed, jump scares, and laughing at your dead friends. At number 7 is Project Zomboid, an incredibly detailed zombie survival sandbox that asks a simple question, how will you die? The answer is usually, because my friend accidentally left the oven on and burned our safe house down. Playing this in multiplayer completely changes the game, allowing you to form actual survivor communities, run tactical supply raids, and manage resources together. The tension is unmatched, and nothing tests a friendship like deciding what to do when your friend gets bitten. It is the ultimate hardcore zombie co-op. Number 6 is Don't Starve Together, the dark and whimsical wilderness survival game specifically designed to ruin your cooperative synergy. You and your friends are dropped into a Tim Burton-esque nightmare where everything, from the weather to dynamic shadow monsters, wants to kill you. The multiplayer requires actual teamwork, since balancing food supplies and sanity levels with a group of hungry friends is a literal logistical nightmare. It's a beautifully punishing experience where you will laugh, cry, and accidentally starve to death together. Coming in at number 5 is Slay the Spire 2, a masterclass deck builder whose absolute best feature is the brand new co-op mode. Forget climbing alone. Now you can bring your friends along to share the emotional damage. Multiplayer completely flips the strategy. Monsters get way beefier, but your squad can coordinate insane status debuffs over voice chat. You can play bodyguard while your buddy builds a massive scaling deck, and if you die, you'll revive as long as someone stays alive. There is honestly nothing better than cackling like a maniac while you and your friends pull off a completely broken degenerate card combo. Number 4 is Rust, the legendary brutal multiplayer sandbox where you wake up naked on a beach with a rock and a dream. This isn't a friendly co-op game, it's a chaotic, high-stakes war zone where you build massive fortresses with your clan just to defend them against 20 people raiding you at 3 a.m. The multiplayer experience is filled with intense, paper-thin alliances, screaming over voice chat, and pure adrenaline. If you have a dedicated group of friends and don't value your sleep schedule at all, this chaotic social experiment is a must-play. Taking the number 3 spot is The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which completely revolutionized its gameplay by adding full native online co-op. Now, instead of crying alone in dark basements, up to 4 players can team up to combine their unhinged item synergies. The multiplayer chaos is absolute perfection as you accidentally blow up your friends with troll bombs or steal their health upgrades. It breathes brand new life into a classic roguelike, turning a depressing story about a crying baby into a hilarious and chaotic group game night. Taking the number 2 spot is MECCHA CHAMELEON, a huge multiplayer hide-and-seek game that lets you become the ultimate troll. Forget regular prop hunt where you just turn into a chair. In this game, you are a plain white figure and you have just a few seconds to color yourself using simple paint tools to blend into walls, trees, or boxes. Playing this with a group of friends is incredibly funny. You will be laughing out loud in voice chat as they walk right past you, totally clueless that you painted yourself into the wall. It is the best game for tricking your friends. And standing tall at number 1 is Palworld, which just got a huge new update making the multiplayer even more insane. This game is the ultimate co-op playground where Pokemon meets survival crafting. Joining a giant server with your squad is where the real madness happens, as you build massive bases, force your creatures into manual labor, and fight giant raid bosses together. The new patch adds awesome fresh content, and because of it, tons of players are flooding the servers right now. Grab your friends and jump in while the hype is massive. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more new and exciting indie games. That's it, and see you next time.